If you are looking ahead to scheduling out your courses and planning to schedule meetings, especially several meetings, your class, essentially, that's pretty easy. And you don't have to do that ad hoc like we did in that other video. Instead, if you come to Zoom, underneath New Meeting, you can see the button that says Schedule. And here we can name our class. So I'm going to call this Worship Technology class. And we can schedule a specific date in here, but if you're doing something like a synchronous classroom, this might be a recurring instance. So here I'm going to hit recurring meeting. And it's going to tell you that I can check recurring meeting in my calendar invitation, because here's what's really happening. If I schedule and specify that this is a recurring meeting, what's going to happen is that it's going to reuse the same meeting ID and password over and over and over and over again. So you can just copy this information and put it into Blackboard. Let's look at some of the other options that are here. Number one, I would encourage you to uncheck require meeting password. It's just another opportunity for somebody to mess up. So I'm going to disconnect that. I'm going to suggest that you want to show yourself your host video. So I'm going to turn that on, and participants video on as well. Right now in this crazy pandemic, Zoom really doesn't put preference to telephone and computer audio at the same time. But this is nice if a student couldn't get in on their computer. They could still call in from any telephone to get into your meeting. So keep that. I don't know that it'll necessarily work. Down here, you can enable a couple of extra options as well. Probably the most important one is enable join before host. This will allow students to join into your meeting if they log into Zoom before you are ready to log into Zoom. And then students could see one another. There's something unnerving about joining a room and not knowing if anybody else is there. Did I do it the wrong time? I'm East Coast and everyone's Central Time. Kind of panicking. So enabling people to join before host enables your students to gather before you even get there. And you will probably get there early anyway, so it's just fine. You could also enable waiting room to do a similar option. Here I'm going to hit schedule, and then it's going to add this schedule to my calendar here. So now we have an instance of this calendar event, and here is where they were talking about. This is my iCal, so an Apple calendar. I can do a repeat, that it's a custom every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time. And then I could add my students. So I'm going to add Jeff Barker because I'm sure that he wants to join in a worship technology class. Hit send, and then all of your invitees, your students, would get an invite. You could also just copy down this information right here and put that into a Blackboard announcement. And then your students will be able to see that and click on this link every single class period. And that's all there is to it.